7 Essential Conversation Tips to Attract Women. You might be surprised to learn that the most effective ways to start and sustain a conversation with a woman, and the things she genuinely enjoys hearing, are not what most people expect. Picture this: you finally gather the courage to strike up a chat with someone you find attractive, but seconds later you feel your pulse race, your palms get clammy, your stomach twist into knots, and your mind suddenly go blank. Meanwhile, she's standing there, politely waiting for you to say something. The silence becomes painfully loud, and both of you start scanning for a graceful exit. Take a deep breath, because the encouraging news is that captivating conversation techniques are simple, enjoyable, and help dialogue unfold naturally. What women truly appreciate isn't a verbal resume of your achievements or a barrage of compliments designed to impress. They're looking for something far more genuine. Below, you'll discover practical conversation strategies that reduce anxiety, spark curiosity, and make talking with women feel effortless, and even fun. These tips transform small talk into meaningful exchanges that leave her comfortable, engaged, and eager to know more about you. Welcome to Just the Tip. As I've mentioned in many other videos, women often mirror the emotional state of the person they're speaking with. If you're tense and jittery, she'll pick up on that tension, even if she can't pinpoint why the atmosphere feels off. Therefore, a major key to being relaxed is to create a setting where you both feel at ease. Conversation, not conversion. The first principle is simple: think of your interaction as a shared conversation rather than a high-stakes mission to land a phone number, a date, or a relationship. Fear of rejection skyrockets when your attention is glued to an ulterior motive. You start second-guessing every sentence, worrying if it's good enough. She senses that pressure and becomes uneasy herself. Instead, focus solely on enjoying a mutually engaging dialogue. By removing hidden agendas, you relieve yourself of performance anxiety and allow the exchange to flow. Ironically, when you aren't pushing for more, the likelihood that she'll want to continue seeing you often increases. A helpful tactic is to set a clear time boundary early on. For instance, say, "I only have a minute, but I wanted to meet you," or "I have to head out in about 15 minutes, yet I'd love to chat while I'm here." This lets her know there's an easy endpoint if the conversation fizzles, which reduces pressure on both sides. Using your natural voice. Tip number 2 is to speak in your authentic vocal tone. When nerves strike, many people subconsciously raise their pitch a notch or two, sounding strained or unnatural. That change can subtly signal discomfort and break rapport. By staying mindful of breathing from your diaphragm and speaking at your usual register, you project confidence and calm, even if butterflies are flapping inside. It's important to recognize that the voice you project may not truly reflect who you are. Often, the way you phrase your questions can reveal a sense of nervousness. A helpful tip for discovering your authentic voice is to start with the sound H. Typically, whatever follows this sound tends to be your genuine voice. I learned this advice from a friend who is an actor. When you attempt to convey confidence while your voice is shaky, higher than usual, or simply not aligned with your true self, it can create a sense of unease, especially for women. This dissonance between your voice and the confident demeanor you wish to portray can be quite noticeable. I experienced this firsthand when I was out walking one day. A man approached me and began a conversation, and almost immediately, I sensed that he wasn't using his true voice. I can't quite explain how I knew, but I asked him, "What do you mean you're not using your real voice?" I suggested he start with the sound H, and when he did, his voice transformed into a more natural tone. It was a remarkable change. Now, let's consider how using your real voice connects with another important tip: using her name. What is one of the most delightful sounds in the world? It's our own name. Hearing our name spoken by someone else makes us feel recognized and valued. It fosters a sense of comfort and familiarity, especially when someone we just met uses it. For instance, consider the difference in these two questions. What do you like most about this coffee shop? Versus, "So, John, what do you like most about this coffee shop?" If your name is John, you can likely sense the difference, and others named Ashley or similar will feel it too. Many men hesitate to use a woman's name, often feeling awkward, particularly if they are newly acquainted. However, whether you've just met or have known her for a while, incorporating her name into the conversation can create a sense of closeness and comfort. This familiarity can help her feel at ease, reducing the likelihood that she will want to leave the interaction. A simple yet effective way to learn her name is by introducing yourself. Hi, I'm John. What's your name? This approach is bold, confident, and attractive. This leads us to another essential tip for engaging women: maintaining bold eye contact. When you lock eyes with someone and hold that gaze, it fosters a sense of familiarity. Prolonging eye contact, especially with someone you don't know well, can project confidence and create a subtle tension that is often necessary for sparking attraction. However, it's crucial to strike a balance. The tension should not be so intense that it makes her uncomfortable or prompts her to want to escape. You will find it easier to maintain strong eye contact when you have already implemented the previous tips. Engaging in a conversation rather than a mere exchange of words makes the interaction feel safe and inviting. Using your authentic voice helps establish a genuine connection, making it more likely that she will respond positively. To create a sense of comfort and familiarity with someone, using their name can be a great starting point. Once you've established this connection, you can begin to build a sense of tension through bold eye contact. This doesn't mean staring intensely, but rather holding eye contact for a fraction of a second longer than what feels natural. The key is to be the one to initiate and maintain this tension, without making the other person feel uncomfortable. If they look away first, that's perfectly fine. It's not about staring them down, but rather about creating a sense of connection. Aim for holding eye contact for 1 or 2 seconds longer than usual, and then you can seamlessly transition into another topic of conversation or explore a different aspect of the discussion. For those who struggle with maintaining eye contact, especially when they're attracted to someone, it's essential to practice and become more comfortable in their own skin. One way to achieve this is by reducing nervousness, which can be characterized by an increased heart rate and blink rate. When you're able to calm your nerves, you'll naturally blink less, and this subtle cue can convey confidence and comfort to the other person. Bold eye contact is rooted in being present in the moment, rather than getting caught up in thoughts about what to say next. By focusing on the conversation and the other person, you can create a sense of safety and build a stronger connection. Women, in particular, are often subconsciously scanning for potential dangers, so it's crucial to be mindful of your body language and behavior. While bold eye contact can create a sense of tension, the next tip can help reduce it. To create a sense of emotional connection, it's essential to take the other person on an emotional roller coaster ride. One way to achieve this is through casual body language, which occurs when you're completely at ease in your surroundings. This can be observed in interactions with close friends or family members, where your body language flows naturally, making the other person feel safer and more comfortable around you. To cultivate this sense of ease, try pretending that the person you're interacting with is someone you're familiar with, like a younger sister or a friend's cousin. This can help you relax and be more yourself, allowing your body language to flow more naturally. Of course, it's essential to pay attention to the other person's body language as well, and adjust your approach accordingly. If they seem interested and engaged, you can continue to build on the connection. On the other hand, if they start to show signs of disinterest, it's best to discontinue and try a different approach. To determine whether someone is interested or not, there are several cues to look out for, which will be discussed later. For now, it's essential to remember that the goal is to engage in conversation, not to try to convince or convert the other person. By keeping this in mind, you can focus on having a natural and flowing conversation, which can include casual touching. This doesn't mean being overly aggressive or inappropriate, but rather using subtle touch to build a sense of connection and intimacy. If you've established a sense of safety and comfort with the other person, and you're engaging in a conversation, it's unlikely that they'll feel uncomfortable or threatened by casual touch. The key is to use staged escalation, where you gradually build on the connection and intimacy, rather than trying to force or rush things. By being mindful of the other person's boundaries and comfort level, you can create a sense of safety and build a stronger connection, which can ultimately lead to a more meaningful and fulfilling interaction. Once you've established a rapport with someone, it's generally safe to start incorporating casual touch into your interactions. This can be as simple as lightly touching her arm, much like you might playfully tease a sibling. The goal here isn't to make the touch the focal point, rather, it's about breaking down barriers and creating a sense of comfort and familiarity. People tend to touch those they feel comfortable with, whether it's someone they're close to emotionally or romantically. A great way to use touch effectively is by incorporating it into a joke or a tease. For instance, you could lightly touch her elbow while saying, "Hey, what do you think that guy's job is?" This way, the focus shifts from the touch itself to the humor or the conversation topic. Adding touch to a light-hearted moment can really elevate the interaction. Now, let's talk about another powerful tool for attracting women: unrestrained laughter. Genuine laughter is incredibly contagious and releases endorphins, which are associated with feeling good. If she laughs too, she'll likely associate those positive feelings with being around you. Unrestrained laughter also shows confidence, as it indicates you're not self-conscious about your laugh or what others might think of it. If you're not used to laughing freely, don't worry, it's a skill you can develop over time. Start by practicing in low-stakes situations, and if you're not comfortable with hearty laughter just yet, begin with a smile or a chuckle. The idea is to build up your comfort level gradually. One great piece of advice is to remember that perfection isn't the goal, practice is. As Chris Williamson once said, a perfectionist is someone who is so focused on quality that they often don't take action. The best approach to initial conversations is to keep things light and enjoyable. You want her to feel your vibe and have a good time, rather than getting caught up in deeper topics like values right off the bat. Those are important, but they can be explored later. The key to improving your conversation skills is practice. Try to engage with everyone you meet, whether it's in a line at the coffee shop or at the grocery store. Talk to the person in front of you or behind you, or strike up a conversation with the cashier. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Just like learning to drive, where at first you're focused on every detail, eventually it becomes second nature. Your subconscious will take over, and you'll find yourself navigating conversations with ease. The motto, "Leave them wanting more," is a great one to keep in mind. If you're interested in learning more about how to touch appropriately to build attraction, you might want to check out more resources on the topic. For example, videos like "The 3 T's of Great Flirting" can provide valuable insights into how to navigate these interactions effectively. If you're looking to steer clear of an uncomfortable rejection by not taking a conversation too far with a girl who isn't really into you, then you'll definitely want to check out my video on the telltale signs that she's just not that interested. I absolutely love hearing your thoughts, so please don't hesitate to drop me a comment. Thanks for being here, and God bless.